think XRP could hit $10,000?
XRP definitely could hit $10,000. BlackRock is about to buy $9 trillion worth of XRP.
That's insane. Soulface, what do you think, bro?
Oh yeah, definitely 1,000%. XRP is about to hit $10,000, especially because of them going after the Swift banking system.
Okay, Gabe, what do you think, bro?
Without a doubt, XRP to 10 bands. And the reason is XRP has intrinsic value. Bitcoin doesn't.
Okay, Mark, what do you think?
XRP $10,000, no question.
Okay, cool. Luke, what do you think?
Absolutely. Wisdom Tree just recently filed an ETF. It's going to go berserk.
Okay, cool. Sage, what do you think, bro?
I think XRP could 100% hit $10,000 simply if they just take over the Swift banking system, which will put their market cap well over 1.2 quadrillion.
Good evening, Warriors. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of your favorite crypto news-related channel. And guys, we had to start off the episode with a funny video because I saw that circulating on Twitter earlier today. The only thing I could think is, dang, we are getting close to the top. That's pretty much all that was going on during that video, Johnny. And we got a couple of exciting updates that we're going to break down throughout today's episode. Now, I know a lot of people are here for the hat giveaway. We are going to be giving away the signed Merlin hat tonight. Now, what's exciting for that, first of all, two major things. One, this giveaway, it's going to be for United States citizens only. We had an issue with the shipping up to Canada over this past time. We're at least going to pause it on the Canadians and the international people. This is going to be an American giveaway. So I had to wear the American hat, Johnny. Number two, the easiest way to get your name in the raffle, head on over to Johnny Krypto's Twitter account, submit your name on the form that is pinned to his account, and you will instantly be updated and in the raffle. If you'd like your name donated more than once, if you want to have your name multiple times on the wheel that we spin, you can donate during today's stream and we will add you twice. And here's one donation right here as Crypto Newbie, all my crypto channel with the headline scared. So not sure what that means, but you will be put in twice if you're participating in the raffle today. And Johnny, this is what we're giving away tonight. We are giving away the signed Merlin hat signed by Coach JV, Johnny Krypto, and myself. All you have to do, head on over to Johnny Krypto's Twitter account, click on the pinned tweet right here, submit the information, takes about 5 seconds, and then you will be in the raffle for tonight. And Crypto Clay, you will be in multiple times. As he said, good evening, family. Headed up hunting with Hall's Balls. Love you guys. Mickle Mafia, baby. That's so awesome. Our community is getting together outside of the actual show, which is pretty great, Johnny Krypto. We're also going to briefly cover this. This got a lot of attention yesterday. We're going to double down on some of these concepts today. The XRP rich list and what has occurred here. Only 2,400 units of XRP gets you in that top 10%. Now, Johnny Krypto, we got another shout out to JB. Big thank you to you, my friend, here every single day. He said, don't F this up. That's what that stands for. Massive thank you for the $50 donation. And of course, your name is going to be put in twice for a chance to win the free Merlin hat. Now, Joseph Ray, the surfer of the Good Evening Crypto community, massive thank you for the $20 donation. He's going to be put in there twice as well. So just remember, if you donate, we'll read your question. We'll dive into it. But we are also going to put your name in twice for the raffle tonight. And I want to give a huge thank you. We already have 4,000 live listeners, over 500 watching on YouTube. If you enjoy this content and you're excited for today's episode, show us some love, smash that like button. And Johnny, I'm about to break down the most exciting article. I haven't even talked about this yet. The United States government has officially unlocked blockchain use cases. And today, we're going to cover the 9 blockchains that they chose. Now, Stellar's on the list. Chainlink's on the list. AVAX is on the list. Bitcoin and Ethereum. XRP was not on the list. And I put out this tweet, and it was 2 words. No XRP, question mark. That got nearly 500,000 views in only 5 hours because there was a lot of people asking the same questions. We got some great research out of VET on Twitter. I'm going to show you what he had to say, and he dispels a lot of those rumors. But Johnny, first of all, how are you feeling tonight as we dive into all this exciting stuff? And thank you for being here.
Crabs, I'm always feeling great to be here with the XRP community. Good evening to all you crypto maniacs out there. It's been a long time since we've had a live apps. I'm excited to be here, and we are going to be raffling off this beautiful one-of-a-kind signed hat. I say one-of-a-kind because everyone is signed differently. There are a few of them out there, but I'm excited to finally be giving us away to one lucky USA winner. We love and appreciate all you guys for being here tonight. And Abs, you know, it is very interesting, you know, that you kind of still see every once in a while XRP getting shunned. But, you know, at the end of the day, we know this. We know that we've got a great technology, a great senior management team behind it, a stable coin out there, so many use cases to solve for. frankly, I'm not worried about it. It's going to find its home. So I am totally, totally excited about that. Just something I went over. But we lost you, Abs. I don't know if you're still there because your camera went up. Oh, there you
Right,
are.
guys.
You're back.
Listen, working at the parents' house, had to silence some of the people in the background. Now we're going to dive into our topics for today. And of course, I'm keeping it lighthearted. I want to give a massive thank you. Said, it's Brandon. Did I win? Brandon, your name's going to be in there twice. That's all we can promise. Now, if I could hand out hats, I would be doing that. And Johnny, I think I shared this earlier in the week. We are going to have good evening crypto hats. I got these custom made, one's in blue, one's in gold, one's in yellow. We're going to be giving those away free on the show as well. So that's
one's in Good Morning Crypto too.
No, those are a different set of hats. Yes.
But you do know the story, right?
Yeah. Nothing better than inside jokes on a public program. Now, guys, massive thank you to Christopher as well. XRP wasn't made for messaging. It's for cross-border payments. I completely agree. And we're going to dive into the details later on in the stream. Just a reminder, once again, if you donate, you will be in the hat raffle twice. So huge thank you to all the donations. Kronos with the $4.99 said, our investment company is feeling very optimistic for October. Summit Horizon, hashtag the Murray family. Shout out to you, my friend. And Johnny, I remember his story that he shared a few weeks ago talking about how, I think this is actually a month and a half ago. This is a long time, how his family has XRP. So shout out to the Kronos family. Big shout out to you guys. Massive success on the horizon. Now, Johnny, I want to break down these stats. Then we'll dive into today's episode. We'll talk about some of the raffle things that we're doing in the background as well. We do already have 6,000 live listeners. Just another reminder, if you enjoy this content, you like this show, show us some love, smash that like button. And here's an exciting update. The XRP rich list, it takes a much smaller amount of tokens to be in the top 10% than many of our listeners had anticipated. Only 2,400 units of XRP gets you in the top 10% of wallets on planet Earth. Now, to be in the top 5%, a little bit more here, 8,300. Top 4% is 10,500. Top 1% is 50,000 units. And the top 0.5%, 100,000 units of XRP. So here's something I can promise you. There are some 1%ers in chat. There are some 0.5%ers in chat. I'm sure there's even some 0.1%ers lurking in chat tonight. So shout out to the whales of the GEC community. Now, why is this relevant, Johnny? And I covered this earlier in the episode. These numbers are actually dropping. When I covered this data a couple of weeks ago, it took nearly 2,500 units of XRP to be in the top 10%, took nearly 9,000 units to be in the top 5%. Now, it's not a major difference. It's about 600 tokens, 800 tokens, depending on the category. But the truth of the matter is that number is only going to continue to fall as we go into this next bull market, because it's going to be more difficult every single day for regular people to accumulate XRP. And you know what really highlights this is that there was an article that came out from the United States government, I believe. I think it was like the Census Bureau. I don't remember. And they talked about how the average American doesn't have $500 in case of an emergency. Well, think about how difficult it's going to be. Today, it's $7,500 to be in the top 10%. Just 12 months ago, that was only a $1,200 investment. Think about how different that is. From $1,200 to $7,000 this year. If XRP goes to $10, which a lot of people think in our live chat, I believe with certainty there's going to be a day where we wake up and XRP is $10. That's going to make this a $24,000 investment. So it's going to be more difficult every single day. And I think if you're in one of these higher categories, you have 50,000, 100,000, 200, 350,000 XRP. It's going to be near impossible to accumulate that amount of tokens for middle-class Americans, probably starting after this bull market. Even if you don't think we're going to $1,000 by the end of the year or $100 by the end of 2028, it's still, even just a $10 price target, Johnny, now takes $1 million to be in that top 0.5%. So we're right on the precipice of that. Any comments there?
Yeah, you know what's going to happen? That list is going to go 15%, 20%, 30%, because nobody's going to be able to make it in the top 10. I mean, if you think about it, at top 10 right now, you need to be 25. If you were at $10, you're looking at $25,000 investment. Not everybody's got $25,000 falling out of their pocket. You know what I mean? That's a big chunk. That ain't chump change anymore. When you're talking, the 10% will be unachievable when, you know, for most people when we're sitting there at a $10 XRP. So, you know, but the good news is I talked to a lot of people and they're DCAing right now. Even at $3, they're DCAing XRP. And you know what? Kudos to them, because I think anybody who's DCAing here realizes and recognizes we still have a lot of upside potential to go here. I mean, we're at the beginning of what I like to call a speculative bull run that's going to come in the crypto space. And I know we show that chart a lot, but I got to get you the chart. We got to start showing the chart in the 1990s where you see the speculative phase of the run, and then of course you see the utility later. It's the Amazon chart, but you clearly can see it, and I really feel like that's happening again, and it's going to be great. It's going to be great when we're sitting here. Yes, listen, this comment here is interesting, right? Clay says we need a utility. No, we don't. We don't need a utility bill run. Let me tell you why. Did we have a utility bill run in 1997? No, we had what we had was a speculative utility run. We didn't have a utility run. The utility run happens when you're in utility, and that happened 10 years later, and that was just as beautiful. But that number, when we started getting that utility run, that actually matched what the speculative one was 10 years earlier. So what I'm trying to tell everybody, guys, is no, we don't need a utility run. We just need a speculative utility run, because you have to understand that's how the stock market works. They invest, big companies invest on speculation. They invest on what's called future earnings. In this case, future unlocked value that's going to be on the blockchain apps. So no, I don't agree. We do not need a utility run. We don't want that. We'd have to wait 5 to 10 years for the abs. What we're going to get is a great thing. We're going to get a speculative bull run now that's going to be based on what utility can be. And then we're going to get a real utility run later. We're going to get 2 chances, not 1, to make a shit ton of money in this space. So everybody right here says we need utility. I'm sorry, my friends. I don't think we need utility. We want the speculation of utility. And we're already there. The world has already said, once President Trump came in, abs, and said, we're going to be the crypto capital of the world. That's it. He planted the flag. We will be the crypto capital of the world. Blockchains will be here, and therefore there will be a speculative bull run coming in. And then we are cooking with, well, I don't cook with Crisco because it's not good. It sounds good. Cooking with Crisco, but don't cook with Crisco. It's bad. You want to cook with olive oil, or more important, beef tallow. Much, much better and healthier for you. But with that said, abs, to me, I'm excited because we will be getting a speculative bull run, I believe, once we get the Clarity Act signed. From that point forward, I think the floodgates get open.
And I want to address this comment. First of all, massive thank you to Johnny Krypto. We got 9,200 live listeners here, over 850 on the brand new YouTube channel. If you guys are enjoying this content, show us some love. Smash that like button. And we already passed 260 likes. If we pass 800 likes on stream, we're sticking around for well more than an hour on this program. Now, Wesley England commented, guys, how bad is it that XRP was not mentioned in the Department of Commerce tweets? We're going to be covering that later on in the episode. That is going to be the major topic that we discussed tonight. And we're going to provide some clarity for our listeners, going to show that once again, XRP is still connected. It's just, we're going to have to take you through the dots, as they say, Johnny Krypto. But we did just get 2 more live donations. Want to give a massive thank you to Myra Elaine and Charles. Shout out to both of you guys in chat for $10 donations. Both of you will be put in for 2 inputs to win the free hat tonight. So hopefully it pays off. We are going to be giving away an absolutely free Merlin hat signed by Coach JV, signed by myself and Johnny Krypto at the end of the episode tonight. So be sure, if you're excited about that, smash that like button. And now, Johnny, we're going to play a very brief video that leads us into an XRP ETF conversation. Now, why is this so important, guys? And first of all, big thank you to Ray White. Thank you. Do you think XRP will be the future? It's going to be the future. It's going to be the greatest, best future you've ever seen. Absolutely, my friend. I couldn't agree more. And this name I cannot pronounce. F Nunchucks. I'm going to say massive thank you to you. $10 donation. We appreciate it, my friend. And your name will be put in twice, both to Ray and to Nunchucks out there. So shout out to you, my friend. We're going to play this very brief video. Now, Johnny, this is a video from Max Kaiser. He's sitting next to this woman who's talking about how BlackRock, they're never going to file an XRP ETF. They have no interest in the product. That's what this whole video is about. Fun fact about Max Kaiser, he has me blocked on Twitter. So shout out to this guy for being a class act. We're going to let this video play and break it down. Here it is.
I think it's important also to note that BlackRock is a good one to look at. Is they have the Bitcoin ETF and the Ethereum ETF. And that you could see that the story of Bitcoin is easy. It's a powerful story. There's no story for Ethereum. What is it? Right. Why? Like, there's no story for any of the other currencies, the coins out there. BlackRock actually just recently said they're not going to offer a Solana or one of the other coins. I don't know. But they're not going to be, or XRP. They're not going to be offering, ETFs for any of those. They're going to stick with, they're sticking with a Bitcoin one, especially. Even Coinbase, right? Like, so they keep on putting out these amazing Bitcoin commercials. They never do a commercial about XRP or any of the other tokens that they actually push if you sign up for them. Like, it's like pushing the other tokens because the exchanges make money on that, right? But the story, the narrative is only in Bitcoin. So that's the only story that matters.
So Johnny Krypto, welcome to the time machine. And this video, it's not from 2017. It's not from 2021. This is from about a week ago. And what I think is so interesting about this whole take here is that it's a really old and outdated narrative, which is there's Bitcoin and everything else. And I think that narrative existed only 3, 4, 5 years ago. But sitting here in 2025, going over some of the developments that we're going to cover tonight, it is going to become so obvious for our listeners here today that the United States government's not focused on Bitcoin. They are focused on expanding US dollar dominance through the use of blockchain products, and Ripple and the XRP ledger are going to play a role. And I believe that Hedera, Chainlink, AVAX, there's going to be a bunch of different blockchain products that take a huge part of this emerging asset class so everybody can win. Look at the positive news we get out of Chainlink, Johnny. A lot of rumors out there. Chainlink's competing with Ripple. For Ripple to win, Chainlink has to die. For Chainlink to win, Ripple has to die. The evidence tells us differently. And I used a long diatribe from ChatGPT to summarize it into a single sentence for our listeners. Is Chainlink replacing Ripple? The answer is no. Chainlink is providing data infrastructure for interoperability, while Ripple is focused on payment settlement and being the most liquid asset on planet Earth. Johnny, floor is yours.
Completely two different use cases. It's like having a highway and then exit ramps, right? And it makes no sense. People just get so confused. They don't understand that at the end of the day, when you think of blockchains, they all have their own kind of communication, right? They're talking to each other or they're talking to themselves. But they need to talk to each other to really make any use case of a blockchain real, adoptable, and to really expand into the world, right? To get to the masses. And how do you do that? Well, you need them talking to each other. Well, what do you need? You need a translator, right? If you're in Italy and you speak Italian, I speak French, he speaks German, we can't speak to each other, right? Unless what? We have a translator that can communicate between. Well, that's what Link is. Link is a translator. It allows blockchains to share data, talk to each other. XRP is not a translator. XRP is a facilitator. It's like, oh, you want money here? It's like a printer, printing me. Here's a bunch of money, and we can make it go here or there, wherever we need it to go. But if we need it to go to talk to a different community or a different blockchain, how are we going to do that? Well, that's where Link comes in. So the reality is, Abs, I laugh when people are like, oh, Link is going to obsolete. No, Link is actually going to enable other blockchains to exist and to work. So yeah, you can't get hung up on it. It's just unfortunate people aren't educated. Listen, this is a highly technical, complex space, the blockchain space. And a lot of people don't understand it. So there's a lot of FUD. There's a lot of crap. And that's why you're all here. You're here because we're going to tell you what it is. We're going to tell you what it's all about. I have a technology background. Abs is the master sleuth researcher. Between the two of us, you're going to get what the real deal is. And the reality is, here's the real truth, folks. Most blockchains are going to go away. Most coins, cryptos, you see, are going to be gone. After we get to regulation, we get to what everybody wants, utility. Well, careful what you wish for, because a lot of them will go away. But the ones that survive, like the top 10, top 100, those are going to kind of be the cream of the crop. And they're all going to, guess what? They're going to coexist. They're going to work together to make the most beautifulest, cheapest, better back-end solutions that companies and governments can use to communicate, to talk together, to transmit data, to transmit universe, to transmit money, to transmit anything and everything they want. That's what's coming. And we had a video, I don't know if we played it on this show, played on Good Morning Crypto, where you literally heard Howard Lutnick talking about how they are going to start putting blockchain government data on the blockchain so inter-office agencies can work together. If you have that video, I absolutely should play it. But that is a perfect example of multiple blockchains working together to service and meet a use case that is going to drive value in these blockchains, which is going to drive up the underlying cryptocurrency.
Well, guys, you got to know your limits. You got to have realistic expectations. And Bobby Bakla, I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that correctly.
Bacala.
He said,
That's
Abs,
beautiful. Bobby Bacala. I love that. It's an Italian name. It's beautiful.
he said, Abs, you need to have Jake Claver on GEC for an arm wrestling match. Now, listen, guys, I don't want to lose in front of everybody.
Yeah,
So
I mean, Jake's a
I'm going to turn down that competition now, respectfully. And we are going to play this video out of Jake, which is really, really interesting, talking about how he was able to speak to Eric Trump. And we could be getting a Ripple and XRP announcement very soon. But I wanted to show our listeners this information. So obviously, the big topic we're going to be breaking down tonight. Today, the U.S. Commerce Department has published a Q2 GDP data report on Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, Tron, Stellar, Avalanche, Arbitrum, Polygon, and Optimism, with distribution through Pyth and Chainlink. So a lot of familiar projects that we've talked about. And I said what everyone's thinking. No XRP, ... question mark. Well, I want to give a special shout out to Vet on Twitter because he said it's a matter of availability, actually. They distributed the information via Pyth and Chainlink. Both services are not publishing data on the XRP ledger yet. It's not that deep. And so when you actually go a little bit deeper with the research here, Johnny Krypto, and I'll show you this, Wormhole announced the United States Department of Commerce has selected Wormhole, which uses the Pyth network. And this is what David Schwartz had to say about the Pyth network. If you want real mass adoption, interoperability is essential. The infrastructure has to be there, not just on chain, but across them all. With this integration, tokens natively issued on the XRP ledger are going to be set up for that reality by being able to move between blockchain networks while maintaining native issuance and control. So Ripple and Wormhole working together, David Schwartz, very positive public statements here, Johnny Krypto. And I think it's important to understand there's much bigger things at play than data distribution, right? This is the narrative that got headlines this morning. It's a positive sign for the entire industry overall. But the reality is that what this signals to the world is that they are going to be using blockchain products, and governments all across the planet are going to be doing the same things. Somebody said, Abs has the heart of the cards. Not sure what that means, but I do want to read through some of these live donations. Massive thank you to Ali. Ali, and just a reminder, anybody who gives a live donation, your name has been put twice in the wheel we will be spinning. I'm just going to give a little insight. This is the wheel we will be spinning to give away the hat later on in the episode. But Ali said, so much winning, all the winning at the same time with this hat. Shout out to anybody who participates tonight. We're appreciative of you, Ali. Always happy to see you in chat. Deplorable Bates with the 199. Massive thank you. Your name will be in there twice, my friend. Crypto Newbie said, I want that hat, baby. You guys are so consistent. Love you, Abs and Johnny Crypto. Now, shout out to you, Crypto Newbie. That's Johnny Crypto with a K, and he's wishing you a good day. Deplorable Bates again said, let's go, boys. XRP, get me in on that hat. You will absolutely be in there. Richard, he wants a China, and you're going to get it, my friend. Shout out to you on this Thursday night. Big thank you to JMK4993. He said, why can't anyone mention XRP publicly still? 1,700 NDAs, no ICO. You tell me, my friend, maybe these VCs, they need a little bit of money before they start talking their book. I think that's how that game goes. Shout out to Bobby. He said, Abs have Jake Claver on GEC for an arm wrestling match. I'll stick with the same response. I don't feel like losing, my friend. So shout out to Jake. And Kronos, once again, he said, Abs, whenever you have time, check out our Summit Horizon post, covered supply shock, ETF flows, and market cap multiplier. Worth a look. Your peak, your passion. Shout out to you, my friend. I will check that out. If that's on Twitter, I'll absolutely do my research. Someone said, Gavin said, give me that hat, guys. Shout out to Gavin, $4.99. Big thank you to you, my friend. And I got to be honest, hopefully the hat gets in the hands of the right person, right? Not all these donations can win the hat, but one lucky winner will walk away. And this is the final donation here. They are still sleeping on XRP. I wonder why. I'm still stacking. Couldn't agree more with you guys. And we did just pass 1,000 live listeners. If you enjoy this content, show us some love, smash that like button, and get ready for an exciting update. And Johnny, I don't think you've seen this yet. You're going to get a live reaction out of Johnny Krypto. So Johnny, here it is. Jake Claver saying he spoke with Eric Trump, and both Elon Musk and President Trump could be making a Ripple and XRP announcement soon. I'm dead serious. Here's the clip.
Wow.
Rocket time. Hell yeah, dude. That's an awesome name. He says, thoughts on World Liberty Finance, financially, publicly opposing the XRPO, give your insight into Eric and Donald Trump, avoiding XRP, rug pull, clueless, on purpose, Love what you do. Put the tinfoil hat on. I just talked to Eric at Salt. He was in the VIP section with me down there when we were watching Riley Green play. What can I say? I like what they're doing. I think it's cool. I don't think it's anything in opposition to XRP. And I think you're going to hear Trump and Elon both talk about XRP in the not too distant future.
So there you have it, Johnny Krypto. And guys, Johnny, I think there's a couple of things to take away from this. First of all, massive thank you to the donations, the ones that are coming in. We're going to get to those towards the back end of the show. But Johnny, what I think is so relevant about what Jake has to say is Jake was at a private event. He was able to communicate with Eric Trump at the VIP portion of this. I'd like to get your initial reaction, then I'll share what my take is here.
Well, I mean, first of all, you can kind of tell Jake, obviously was told something or made a promise not to say something, but his body language just told us everything we need to know. There is obviously something. I mean, Jake's been a massive XRP bull, and if there was something he had heard from them that made it sound like they were going to crush or kill or not do something with XRP, I think he would maybe be changing his tune. And you don't see that at all. In fact, you can kind of see the smile and smirk coming through his body. The body language to me just tells me whatever he heard was very, very exciting. And without him wanting to burn his bridge with Eric Trump, he obviously heard something he liked. And that has me actually excited. I mean, I was already bullish on XRP anyway. I do still believe, Abs, that, yes, I agree with you, Jesse. He was definitely biting his tongue. I do believe that there are forces at play still that don't want to see XRP successful. I'll go on record saying that. I believe that is the case, and that's why I believe you're not seeing a BlackRock XRP ETF. And I think there are other bankers. The banking industry is scared to death of them. But I think there's a whole nother community and businesses that see the value in them and want them to be successful. So there's this battle going on right now still. So everybody who's sitting there wondering, why aren't we seeing this? And why aren't we seeing? Because there's a battle. You guys have to understand. We talked about this on GMC a while ago, and even on GEC, guys. XRP is a threat to the banking business because it does what banks do. It moves money. It moves it freelessly, and it moves it a lot cheaper and efficiently. So if banks don't adopt it, then they're going to be competing against it. And banks, companies don't. Change is tough. Change is expensive. Change takes time. And so not all banks want to do that. They're happy making their millions in fees. And now with those are going to go away, they have to figure out another way to make money, Abs. And that's the challenge, I think. And so that's why, guys, if you're worried about don't worry about it. Just know it's a good technology. Know that there's a battle. At the end, the good technology is going to win. It's just going to take time. And when we get there, it's going to be a beautiful thing. But to me, Jake already let the cat out of the bag, Abs. I mean, once we start hearing Trump and Eric Jr., Eric Trump and Donald Trump talking about XRP, boy, you're going to see excitement off the charts. It's going to be off the freaking charts.
That'll be a make or break moment for the project, Johnny. And I think that in order for both Elon Musk and Donald Trump, and I thought about this during today because we saw this earlier in the morning, I think that it has to be social media related. I think that if there is going to be some sort of an XRP announcement that involves both Trump and Elon Musk, it could be that Truth Social and X both onboard the XRP ledger for instant payments. Could be something along those lines. Now, Johnny Krypto, I want to give you a massive thank you for your time tonight, guys. We got 17,000 live listeners here, tons of donations coming in. And remember, anybody who donates is going to get 2 chances to win the free hat that we are giving away tonight, signed by Johnny Krypto, Coach JV, and myself. We're going to read through some of these donations as well, Johnny, but think about this. Earlier today, Zach XBT said, Ripple holders provide nothing of value to the industry except exit liquidity for insiders, thus are not worth supporting. And Johnny, I'm going to throw you on screen just to get a live reaction to this, because this guy's done some really good work over the past couple of years, catching criminals, helping track down stolen crypto. So something happened, and this got a ton of views. The original post got nearly 1 million views, so it got a ton of attention. It is worth addressing, guys. I'd love to hear some of your thoughts in chat as well. So here's what he had to say. I do not currently assist the XRP community and will make fun of anyone that sends me a direct message. Someone said, what did the XRP community do to you, bro? He commented, Ripple holders provide nothing of value to the industry except exit liquidity for insiders, thus are not worth supporting, like Cardano, like Pulse Chain, and like Hedera. And I think right there, he kind of showed his cards, Johnny, because putting Hedera, Cardano, Ripple all in the same category, I think if you're going to FUD a project, you go at them one at a time, right? You break down the Solana narrative, you break down the XRP narrative, and I don't think you can break the XRP narrative, but for the Bitcoin community, this is very similar. I think this guy in some way, shape, or form is doing one of two things. He's vocalizing his personal frustrations. He worked with the Ripple team. Maybe he had a falling out with David Schwartz. Maybe there's somebody who we don't even know of at the Ripple team who pissed this guy off, didn't give him some information. Now he's going to public platforms to bash them. That's one case scenario. Number two is he knows something we don't. And the reason that I'm leaning not in that direction is because he categorized Cardano and Hedera here. And when you look at Hedera, I love that he used Hedera because it gives us a lot of credibility. Their leadership team, the connections, all the different things that they're doing in regards to enterprise adoption and U.S. government, as well as global economies adopting this tech, I think it's absolutely clear that these are not scam projects and they're not just built for the top 5% of issuers or whatever he was trying to get at. And the charts really tell us that. And I think after this euphoric bull run at the back end of the year, Johnny, it's going to be much easier to give this speech once XRP actually breaks its all-time high. Difficult truth about where we are today. So many exciting things. It's great that we're at $3, but XRP still never passed that all-time high that it created back in 2018. When that occurs, when we're getting daily closures above $4, above $5, narratives like this will be a lot easier to dismiss. And I think that because we're in some sort of a downtrend or sideways trading action, people will kind of fall for these things in the short term. So I did see that there was a live donation in regards to this. Yeah, I'll have to find it because so many donos are coming in. Massive thank you to you guys. Johnny Krypto, floor is yours. What's your reaction here? Then we'll read through the donation.
Yeah, Abs, I'm not actually surprised. When my crypto got hacked 2 years ago on the Atomic Wallet, I had reached out to that guy right there, XRBT, whatever his name is there, Zach XBT, because he was known in the industry to help you. And the guy wouldn't even reply back to me. I reached out to him multiple times. And then I had heard, rumors like this, that he was not interesting. I had a good amount of XRP, so he had no desire to help me. I'm not surprised, Abs, at all to see this and hear this from him because of that experience I had with him. I think, like you said, something went wrong. He was kind of pro XRP, and he's not. And the reality is this. There's a lot of people that literally feel exactly how he feels. A lot of people that say Ripple has no use case, that we're just exit liquidity for the insiders so they could have made the money. I mean, even the guy who I like, we've had on the show multiple times, Mark Yesko, has even felt at times that there aren't enough developers developing with it. The reality is this. Right now, everybody feels that way, and it's easy to say that because we're in the beginning, and nobody really knows who's building on what and what's going on. The only utility we really see happening right now, for the most part, is Ethereum. I mean, everything runs on Ethereum right now, right? And Solana, as you see, we've had a huge NFT market on Solana. So people can visually see that and point to it and go, oh yeah, see, that's what's happening there. When you point to XRP and you go, well, where is it? Where's it working? Well, right now, we've got 1,700 NDAs. We've got experiments working in the background, but because people aren't seeing that happening, it's hard for them to envision where this is going. Now, being a technology guy, it's easy for me to see where it's going and why I'm excited and why I'm invested in it, and why I totally disagree when he says guys like us are just exit liquidity for insiders. I mean, the insiders took their money and profits a long time ago. And maybe he's assuming because there's still approximately 40 billion of escrow there, maybe he thinks as they dump that's going to be dumped on us as exit liquidity. But the reality is, if that's being dumped when we're in the process of real use cases, well, there you go. It's going to happen. And I believe that's what we're going to see. By the way, I do want to say, somebody did ask me, I think it was Charles. Yeah. Hey, Charles. Oh, yes. I am actually adding donations to the raffle. Everybody gets added. If you donate, you get one extra edition. So as I've said, you get 2 chances to win. So just so you know, so I'm adding everybody in there. I'm trying to keep up. Look at that. That's just the people who donated. I haven't even added all the people who signed up yet, Abs. I'm just trying to add it and keep up with it to make the show go faster at the end of the night when we go to pick this up. But there you go, guys. We are adding you right now as you speak. But remember, you have to be in the U.S. I am going to call you during this show live to make sure you're here in the room and you're in the U.S. And if you do, you have a chance at winning that beautiful signed hat that is going to be yours.
Guys, we did just pass 20,000 live listeners on all platforms. If you're enjoying this content, show us some love, smash that like button. We already passed nearly 500 likes on the brand new YouTube channel. Massive thank you to anybody who's watching over there. Guys, I'd love to know if you just found us, if you just found Good Evening Crypto, you didn't know we had the Good Morning Crypto show, throw a 1 in chat. I'd love to see how many new people just found us from the brand new YouTube channel. But I want to read through some of these comments because, again, massive thank you for all the live donations. Bubba Bonnie with the $4.99. And just a quick reminder, 1 second, guys. Just a quick reminder, anybody who donates tonight will have their name submitted twice for the raffle. So I just want to make that absolutely clear. Huge thank you to anybody who donates. We got Meredith with the $2. Big shout out to you and a huge thank you. Thoughts on Google's GCUL rivaling the XRP ledger, XRP for life? Here's what I would say. It's not even big enough for me to have heard of it. So I'm not entirely sure. Let's go. Big thank you for the donation. Of course, my friend. Somebody said, Jason Elder, let's go XRP and a hat for the win. Shout out to you, Jason. You will be in there twice. We got the $4.99 from Chad. He said, thank you guys for sharing your knowledge and time with us. I want that hat. Of course, my friend. We're excited to be here, and we're appreciative that you guys want to show up and listen to us. So thank you, my friend. One Voice Art said, man, I swear Jake's holding some secrets. I agree. Like, this is what I'll say about Jake. Jake's a class act. I think he's got some insight into why he's so comfortable making the bold predictions that he's making. He's got to have some insight. And so shout out to Jake. We're rooting for him. And I hope his predictions come to fruition, Johnny, because $1,000 XRP by the end of the year, I'm buying a house next to Johnny's house, and we're going to have a good evening crypto lake house for people to come and visit. So that's a promise. $1,000 by the end of the year. I'll stick to my word on that. You have my word. Chris Palmer said, $5. What's up, guys? Love what you do on GMC and GEC. Thank you, Chris Palmer. Much appreciated. Always great to see you here. I remember you. So big thank you to you. This person said, D Mullen, hi guys, love all your programs. I also wish more folks were talking about XRP publicly. Here's the positive side of that, guys. You're early, right? The second that everybody's talking about XRP, I would consider taking some profit. That would be my personal opinion. Even back in 2021, Johnny, we saw this, but think about what happened in December. When XRP went to $3 from 50 cents, everybody was asking us about it, and that was the ideal time to take a little bit of profit if you wanted to. So this person said, Unified, big thank you for the $4.99. We can't let the OF girls outsmart us and become 1%ers. I think that's in regards to the video that we played on Good Morning Crypto earlier this morning. I mean, listen, that girl has 1.3 million units of XRP. Shout out to her. She's going to be successful. Credit is given where credit is due. This person said, LFG XRP, my bags are packed and getting heavier. Big thank you to you, Jay. Shout out to you, my friend. $2 donation. I would love that hat, said John Jepson. Would love it. You guys are the best at it. Big thank you to you. Hopefully you get the hat. $10 from XRP eDuck, or eKing Duck, as they say. No comment there. Big thank you to the duck of the Good Evening Crypto community. Dennis commented, I told you they bought Bob Way back to Trump TPS, and they permissioned deck/domain amends passed. So big thank you to Seven Dennis. We appreciate you, man. Seven Dennis is a big part of our community. He's here on all these streams. Shout out to the people who show up every day. And big thank you to you, Seven Dennis. We appreciate you, my friend. Shout out to Topher. You can't stop abs. You can only hope to contain them. I'm like LeBron James when he stood up at the press conference back when he was on the Miami Heat and he had shorts on. That's me right now, guys. I'm feeling great. Robert says, been watching since early 2023. You guys are doing a great job. Shout out to you, Robert. We wish you and your family nothing but love and success, my friend. I see them in the profile picture, so shout out to you. This person said, William Brenner, I care about the hat. I don't care about the hat, I think he said. I just want to support. Big thank you to you, William. That's much appreciated. Massive thank you to you, my friend. Big thank you for the $2 donation. Shadow1776. Now, Johnny, we got to give a shout out to our boy, another daily listener, somebody who's here all the time. Huge thank you to you, my friend. He just put emojis in there, but the 1776 donation, that's one of my favorites. $2 from Ryan. Big thank you to you. And DJ Cutter, I'm going to say, Zach, ... show us the doll where Brad touched you. I'm not entirely sure. I didn't read that, guys. I apologize. Crypto, floor is yours. And then
I don't even know where to go with that one, man. Holy cow. First of all, thank all you guys for the donations. I've got all you captured as long as it wasn't in Canadian. Unfortunately, Canadian we can't include you. But if you're in the U.S., you will get included, as I've said a second time. So you have 2 chances to win tonight. We're excited to get this out to you guys. And yes, I did see BitBoy is back. Matty G, he's all back and forth. But BitBoy was in jail, Abs. I didn't realize he got released. I wonder if he's out on bond, or is he finally out for good? I mean, they talk about the mighty have fallen. Holy crap. What a story has happened there. But, I wish the best for everybody. We all do. We want to see nothing but success for everybody in this space. And I believe there'll be Abs, like you said, $1,000 XRP would be very, very, very life-changing for many. $100 XRP would be very, very life-changing for many, many people here. I mean, I'd love to see in the chat how many people would quit their job tomorrow if you had $100 XRP. Put a 1 in the chat if you'd be able to quit your job tomorrow if we had $100 XRP.
And guys, we're going to go through a couple more donations we received. Now, big thank you to Charles. BitBoy and Matty G are back. Bull run commence now. Shout out to BitBoy. He's back. We wish him the best. Shout out to Matty G. Anybody who knows who Matty G is, you are an OG of the XRP community. So shout out to him. This person said, gift of 1 XRP. Let's make this $1,000. Massive thank you to you, Mark. I like that comment right there. That's pretty sly. Chrono said, tuning in from a small town in Northern Ireland, currently 3:15 a.m. XRP money doesn't sleep. Now here, shout out to you, Chronos. I hope that Conor McGregor becomes your new prime minister. That's what I'll say to you. I hope you feel the same way. That would be like a Matrix glitch of the century. Jason commented $5 here. Thank you. And I do just want to remind everybody, every single donation, every single person who donated, your name will be put in the raffle for the hat. Just continuing to remind you of that. In 2010, would you believe that that Bitcoin's price was less than 5 cents and it would hit 124,000 in 2025? Go XRP. And Johnny, I've used that analogy time and time again. 10 years ago to the day, Bitcoin was $260. Now on this pullback, $112,000 this morning. And there's a lot of really smart people that are predicting $1,000 by the year 2030. We did a great video breaking that down, so I'm sure our listeners saw that. Mr. Suttles with the $2. Shout out to you and thank you. Your name will be put in the raffle. And Joseph Ray said, I'm going to name my boat XRP Pleasure. That's a good one. I like that, guys. Shout out to him. Shout out to Joseph Ray. A lot of funny comments tonight. And we do have over 23,000 live listeners watching on all platforms. If you guys are enjoying this content, be sure to smash that like button. If we pass 800 likes on YouTube, we're going to stick around for some overtime on today's show. And if you're watching on many of the other platforms, head on over to the Good Evening Crypto channel on YouTube. You're going to get an update every single day, 5:30 p.m. Eastern time, or a late night live stream like this, depending on if it's a weekend or not. So pretty exciting. But Johnny, I got to show the wheel really quick. Look at all these names that have already been added to the wheel and the raffle for tonight. Remember, guys, if you donated, your name will be put on here twice. If you can get your name on this list completely free by just heading on over to Johnny Krypto's Twitter, clicking on the post that's pinned to the portfolio right here and filling out the information. It takes like 30 seconds. And we're not collecting any of your information, guys. We're not here to collect info. We're just trying to send out a cool hat for free. So just want to make that transparent. We're not going to send you emails in regards to Good Evening Crypto or something like that. We love and appreciate you guys for being so transparent with us. Shout out to this person. Now, Johnny, I think this is LL Cool J's. So shout out to that's a great name with the $4.99. Big thank you to you, my friend. Your name will be in there twice on today's episode. But Johnny, I wanted to play this video as we're kind of leading up to the big topics we're going to break down for today. I mean, $1,000 XRP, everybody's rooting for it, but how likely is it to occur? This is what Dom and Phil from the EZA app had to say in regards to this. And we're also going to go through the U.S. government update a little bit more in depth, like I've been stating. We did already pass, I want to get this right, 598 likes on the show. If you're enjoying this content, be sure to smash that like button. It really does help us out. Not 589, 598. But here's Paul Barron talking about the road to $1,000 XRP. Let's break this down.
You know, you had, I think it was $1,000 price thesis. Was it based on the SWIFT model starting to shift, the growth of the XRP ledger, or potentially the growth of stablecoin, or kind of a combination of all?
Yeah, I mean, that's an interesting question, and a lot of people asked for the sort of more detailed explanation, which I'm currently, working on sort of putting out. But I think, for the purpose of this, at a high level at least, it's a combination of all of them. Obviously, Swift is a big component, but then a lot of it is actually driven by the use cases that we're actually seeing on the ground, in person, in real life. All of these incredible projects that are coming out and actually utilizing the XRP ledger in different ways. Obviously, DeFi and finance are a huge use case, but then also, like I was talking about before, billions and billions are transferred internationally from, people in the US to people abroad, both in terms of business, remittances, but then also in terms of charity, and all sorts of use cases. And ultimately, when those applications really start to get used on an institutional level, that's really where you start to see not only more activity on the XRP ledger, obviously a huge, multiple times explosion, but also you start to see people focused more in terms of just, retail, looking at the tech underlying it. That's why companies like NVIDIA, for example, have seen, 1,000-fold increase in the price, is because, retail start to come and they start to see, oh, okay, AI is really taking off now. What's the best way I can actually invest in that? It's through, the products that NVIDIA makes. And so ultimately, I think, that's going to be a really interesting part of the whole story, is when, those sort of 93% of people, obviously, less accounting people who don't have access to the internet, et cetera, but, that huge proportion of people who don't currently own crypto come into the space and, figure out that XRP exists.
Johnny, and we've talked about this for a long time, that when new investors come into this market, here's how they're going to look at it. They're going to look at Bitcoin. They're going to go, I don't have 100 grand, right? Maybe newer investors have $1,000 to start with, and they go, I don't want 1% of a Bitcoin. Let me go down to Ethereum. Ethereum's going to be about $5,000 probably, give or take at the time. They're going to say, do I want 0.2 Ethereum, or do I want to accumulate 335 XRP? And I think a lot of people are going to go through that process. And that's one layer of this. The other layer of this is the more important part, the modernization of settlement systems. This is why Jay Claver's so bullish. He thinks we're going through a global change here. And we did get 2 more donos. Want to give a massive thank you to Jacqueline Bain with the peace emoji. Shout out to you. Peace, my friend. Shout out to you. Big thank you. Dave commented, 833, give us 10 push-ups. Johnny Krypto, you got to at least flex the biceps for the people. Shout out to Johnny Krypto. Look at it. He's on the new workout routine, guys. He's got the summer bod going, as they say. So shout out to you, Johnny. What's your initial reaction to Dom not only outlining how we could get to $1,000 XRP, but also clearly explaining that modern settlement systems are going through upgrades right now, and it's products like Ripple that are going to benefit?
Oh, shit. I was so lost on that. Yeah. Abs, when you think about it at the end of the day, first of all, 1,000 XRP that is no easy feat. Okay. It's going to take a number of things to happen, a number of dominoes to fall, as Jay kind of talked about. But when you think about the size, the number of, quadrillions of dollars that our financial system moves on a yearly, daily, annual basis, it's not inconceivable that someday we couldn't see XRP get to the point where it can handle that kind of volume, and it can then have a valuation, if you will, for its blockchain because of that. So to me, I don't necessarily think it's impossible, but I also don't think it's going to happen by the end of this year. I'm not in that camp where I think it's going to, if you were to say to me, Johnny, could we see a 2-digit XRP, maybe pushing a 3, I would say to you, well, we got a couple things that could help drive us there, Abs. We've got the Clarity Act, which is going to be a huge liquidity unlock. We got 19 XRP ETFs, which will be another liquidity lock just for the XRP chain blockchain alone. That's going to drive volume in it. And then you're going to have a big speculation play, IFOMO, what I call IFOMO, institutional FOMO, like we saw in 96 and 97. And I think that's going to help drive us into the double digits. And maybe, who knows, maybe even skim triple digits, somewhere in the next year and a half. Then to get to that, where we're talking $1,000 XRP, now you have to be moving serious volume, having a component of Swift, having, a massive component, I would say. Like you heard Brad talk about 14%. I think we're going to need some kind of big adoption breakthrough like that for that to happen. Do I think it's possible? Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and tell you anything is impossible, because I'd be a hypocrite if I had, back in 97, if you had asked to me, hey, Johnny, when I bought Amazon at $17, do you think it'll be $3,300? I would have told you absolutely no way, impossible. And yet Fast forward 20 years later, Abs, it happened. So can XRP get to 1,000? I don't think it's impossible. No, I don't. When can it get there? Let's just say I'm not as optimistic that it's going to happen as fast as everybody's talking about, but I'm a realist, you know. And here's the good news about being a realist. My expectations are it's going to take a while. So if it happens sooner, you're just making me happy sooner. I don't care. I've got an exit plan. I know how much I'm holding for the future. I know what I'm selling now. I am totally comfortable sleeping at night knowing that even if I sell, here's the problem, Abs. Everybody's so worried that we're going to 1,000 and they're going to sell too early. I am totally fine selling some at $10, some at 20, some at 50, some at 100, some at 500, and then a good chunk of it at 1,000. I'm totally fine with that. I'm okay. Exactly. I'm going to have a new boat. I'm going to have a new life. I'm going to take that money and reinvest it. I'm going to make more money out of that money. So I am totally fine with taking profits on the way up because I know nothing goes up. I know it goes up and it pulls down, and I'm going to have opportunities to reinvest again. So for me, the way I look at it, my friend, is while yes, I believe someday we could be looking at $1,000 XRP, I'm not sitting here right now saying to myself, I need $1,000 XRP so I can quit my job. I need $1,000. I'm not like banking. Like XRP doesn't need to be $1,000 for my life to change. And I think some people have invested in this thinking, oh, I'm just going to buy 100 XRP because it's going to be 1,000. It's going to change my life. I think if you're doing that, then I understand why people are nervous, and that's not an approach I would take. Instead, I would be trying to accumulate more XRP at this price, and I'd be trying to get myself into, do you have that XRP rich list there? I don't know if you have it up. If you have it up, and again, we're not financial advisors, but if you were my brother or my friend and you said to me, Johnny, how much XRP do I need to have to change my life? I would say you want to be aiming for the 4% range right here. You want to try to get yourself into that 10,000 range. And why do I say that? Because I believe $100 XRP apps is achievable in the next 4 to 5 years. So if you're at 10,000 XRP at $100, that's $1 million. That's who doesn't want to be a millionaire in 4 to 5 years? There's no such thing, you know what I mean? So that's just kind of, there we go. Financial friend. There's my financial friend advice. Is for me, I would be targeting to try and get into that 3, 4, 5% range. If you can get that, then you just sit back and you wait and you let the speculation bull run happen. You let all that institutional money come in. And then when they're in, guess what? They want to make money. Now they're going to drive the machine. Okay? Now we've got the cheat sheet chart. I don't have it pulled up to show it to you guys, but you've seen it in the past. You will see how it works. Smart money gets in first. They're already here. Institutional money comes in next. That's going to happen with the Clarity Act. And then they're going to turn on the printing. They're going to turn on the news, the media. Everything's going to tell you that this thing smells better than the sliced bread. And everybody who thinks crypto's a scam is going to think it's real. And then they're all going to pile in and the prices are going to go through the roof. And that, my friend, is where you and I and everybody here will be selling it and making, we're just, what the biggest challenge we're going to have, Abs? We're going to have a hard time figuring out what we want to name our island. And yes, I always promise you guys, I will always keep it real. It comes right here from the heart. That's how I feel. That's what I believe. And you know what? We'll see if I'm right or wrong. Been more right than wrong, but we'll see where it's going to go. But in the end, I just sell. You buy, you sell, you have a plan, you hold, and you're all going to end up being very, very wealthy in the long run. I believe in this technology.
It's a great speech, guys, and I think it's a very realistic perception as well. Now, Charles Hoskinson, he agrees with you, Johnny. He talks about in this video, Swift's days are numbered as the global settlement system. It's projects like Ripple and XRP that are going to be taking over, and we're going to break this down later on in the episode, guys. We do have 27,000 live listeners here. We are going to be spinning this wheel in just a couple of minutes. We have 6 minutes left in the episode. Now, somebody said, why did the U.S. reject XRP? We're going to show you that right after this Charles Hoskinson video. We'll break that down in more detail. If you're just joining the show, tonight we are giving away a free signed Merlin hat. Anybody who donates, your name will be submitted twice. You can get your name on this list absolutely free. Just head on over to Johnny Krypto's Twitter account, click on the post that is pinned to the portfolio, and you can be submitted. I also want to give a huge thank you to Dennis. He said, Abs the best. Let's go. XRP making us millions. Millions and millions and millions, Johnny Krypto. It's going to be an exciting 4 years here. You know what's funny? My best friend, he called me the other day and he goes, you said this 9 months ago and it really hit me today. I don't know why he felt that way, but he goes, when Trump won, you said to me, we're going to have 4 years to make as much money as possible. And I really feel that way. And I feel like we're 1 year into a 4-year journey. Things are about to get really, really exciting towards the back end of this year. And I mean here in 2025, but don't underestimate what can happen in 26, 27, and 2028, as you guys should be ready to make a whole lot of money towards the back end of this year and so on. Brian, big thank you to you, $10 donation. You will be added for a double chance to win the hat tonight. And guys, we are going to be launching some merch. The thing is, I don't really want to sell merch. I want to give merch away for free on this channel. So I think one of the things we're going to be doing, we're going to find more ways to give you guys free gifts. And that's what we're doing here tonight. This is Charles Hoskinson talking about how Swift's days are numbered. Here it is.
Ultimately, the interoperability is going to have to be there. And I think Swift is going to die. And these other large systems are going to die. They just can't sustain themselves. There's too many downsides. There's too much legacy complexity. And at the end of the day, there's an enormous amount of trust and lack of consumer protection. If nobody believes me and the bankers are like, oh, well, then go to your bank and try to send a wire. You notice how many times they try to talk you out of sending a wire and how many disclosure forms you have to file. Oh, there's wire fraud. Have you checked your account number?
Just terrible system.
Exactly. So let me get this straight. I can use like multi-sig and ledger devices and all these things to have tons of security, and it's super easy for any consumer to do that. But you could be a multi-billion-dollar financial institution, and you have to put in all these bells and whistles, and even still, you have some guy call you after you've sent a wire saying, "Did you really send that wire? I need to know everything about the transaction to verify that's a wire, or else we're going to put a freeze on it." That's just a broken system, and it can't survive when its competitor is used. Just tap your phone with trusted hardware in your Google phone or your iPhone, and you just use your fingerprint. We know it's you.
So there you have it, Johnny Krypto. It just goes to show that a lot of this stuff is old and outdated. Let's say Swift had made this transition back in like 2017, people would be caught off guard. But instead, today, our community, we're waiting for this. We're here. We've invested. We've staked our portion of this thing. We're waiting for the evolution. Now, if you're looking to buy Merlin merchandise, you can find it at merch.merlincrypto.com. Sorry for butchering that, Johnny Krypto. But we did just get another live donation here, guys. Want to give a huge thank you to anybody who donated tonight. It's greatly appreciated on this channel. They said the U.S. didn't reject XRP. They're not saying anything on purpose. Stay stoic. I completely agree. And before we raffle off this hat tonight, Johnny, I want to just cover the details in regards to this. So what is the breaking news for today? The U.S. government rejecting XRP. That was the title of the episode. So earlier today, we showed you guys yesterday, and I feel like I should probably take you to this video right here. This is Howard Lutnick, the Commerce Secretary of the United States, making the official announcement next to, I think it's Pete Hegseth and Donald Trump here, saying the U.S. government will begin publishing economic data on chain. Here it is.
More things. The Department of Commerce is going to start issuing its statistics on the blockchain because you are the crypto president, and we are going to put out GDP on the blockchain so people can use the blockchain for data distribution, and then we're going to make that available to the entire government so all of you can do it. We're just ironing out all the details so we can do it.
Well, Johnny Krypto, promises made, promises kept. And earlier this morning, we got another announcement. The U.S. Commerce Department has published the Q2 GDP data on Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, Tron, Stellar, Avalanche, Arbitrum, Polygon, and Optimism, with distribution via Pith, which is the wormhole connection I showed you earlier with the David Schwartz quote, and Chainlink, which is what got a lot of media attention. And I commented, no XRP. Well, Vet said, this is very important, it's a matter of availability. They distributed the information via Pith and Chainlink. Both of these services are not publishing data on the XRP ledger yet. It's not that deep. Now, Johnny Krypto, I'll actually double down on this again. Pith uses Wormhole. Wormhole connected to the XRP ledger. So at the end of the day, there's always a connection here. And I think people overestimate what happens in these short-term headlines, and they underestimate what happens in the long run. Long run, this is insignificant. Short term, what it says, the data can't be communicated on the ledger. That's what prevented this connection. So the United States didn't outright reject XRP. I think there's a lot going on here. And I'll put this positive spin on it, Johnny, and kick it right over to you. There's only a couple of blockchain companies that are actually working with the United States government. It's Ripple It's Chainlink, it's Hedera, it's Stellar. There's some connections with Algorand and AVAX. There's not that many companies. DAG is out there, right? Ondo is out there. Do your research, guys, but there's not that many companies. If the United States government has flipped the switch now, where they're saying we're willing to work with blockchain companies, we're willing to build on blockchain products, that's the best thing that could happen to the Ripple community. And it's honestly the best thing that could happen to the altcoin community. But Johnny, wanted to give you a chance to comment. Then we're going to break down the brand new hack giveaway for tonight. We're going to be spinning this wheel later on in the episode, and every single person who donated will have their name submitted twice to win the free Merlin hat. So shout out to you guys. Johnny, we did get a couple more donations. I'm going to kick it over to you, then we'll cover those.
Yeah, Abs, at the end of the day, I know everybody gets hung up and everybody wants to see, the government mentioning that they're going to be working with XRP. We know that Brad has the highest relationship possible. He had dinner with the president. They have connections with the vice president. Believe me, if there is a way or a place where that technology can be used, it will get used by the U.S. government. I'm not worried about it. It wasn't mentioned there. Like you said, at the end of the day, it still has connections to it. And by the way, if you want any signed merch, by the way, guys, Abs and I, we're not shy. Go to the merch store, buy your merch. When you see us live at any event, whether you see us at Revive, if you see us at the Freedom Conference or at an XRP conference or a Bitcoin conference, come up to us, bring your merch. I will sign it for you. I know Abs will sign it for you. We will sign it. So, and we'll have GEC merch someday too. When we bring that merch, we will be happy to sign it for you guys. So I just want to throw that out there. Don't be shy. Come and say hi. But yeah, Abs. So I would just tell everybody, don't panic. Don't worry about it. We know that Ripple has 1,700. Let me say it again. 1,700 NDAs. I don't think anybody. No, we don't sleep. Well, Ab sleeps. I try to sleep. I just can't. At my age, you don't sleep as good as you used to when you're his age. But I love you guys. I love the audience. I'm here for you guys. So I'm always going to get distracted when you put comments, but it's okay. It's what I do. But to me, what's so important is 1,700 NDAs. I don't know if you could wrap your head around how massive that is. About 17. Just think about this, guys. If Ripple converts 10% of those deals, that's 170 companies that would be potentially levering their GCs better for my account. That would be 170 companies working with this technology. So for me, you don't need to panic. Don't worry about it. You need to understand, at least what I believe, is that there are still forces trying to fight them. I think those forces eventually are going to cave in to the cheaper, better solution, and they're going to adopt them at some point in time. That's what I truly believe, Abs. So I'm still holding on to my XRP like a tick on the dog, as Coach likes to say, because I don't think we're investing in a technology that doesn't have potential. This ain't Doge. This ain't Sheeb, where and I'm not trying to I'm not trying to upset those communities. I don't have big communities. What I'm saying is those are meme coins that may have a use case if somebody adopts them. XRP is designed. The ledger is designed to manage massive transactions, large amounts of money to move in an instant split second in time, okay, to do something, a use case that it's trying to solve. To me, that's the kind of stuff you want to be investing in. And if there are other companies fearful of that technology, that's even more the reason why I want to own it. Because that tells me that technology has a place to play. Because there's a certain group of men that don't want to lose their money, but there's another group of men that have a vision to see what it can bring. And they're going to bring it to light at some point in time. Remember what Sal Gilberti said, Abs? He goes, those guys over there, the senior management team at Ripple, they're not TikTok guys. They're bankers. They get it. They understand how to take this technology and get it into the industry. And that's why you have Rosie Rios and all these other people on their board, because they understand relationships matter, technology matters, and how you play in the space, the use case you solve, the pain points you're trying to solve matters. And Ripple checks all those boxes.
Well, speaking of checking boxes, guys, we have checked all the boxes leading up to the free hack giveaway tonight. And I want to give a massive thank you as we got a couple more donations that came in. Your Huckleberry commented, wait until half the college football starts and they start demanding NIL and crypto. The world will wake up quickly. That's pretty cool. So he's saying, Wait until college players demand to be paid in cryptocurrencies.
Yep.
I think there was a popular NFL wide receiver who did this a few years ago with Bitcoin. There's probably a half dozen or so of these guys. Yeah. They've made huge profits. So there's going to be more people who follow that. Great comment there. Thank you for the $5 donation, my friend. And a quick reminder, every single person who donates, your name is going on this wheel 2 times, just so you have a full understanding. This person said, Britt commented, XRP is a big part of our future. I absolutely agree. And that's why we cover it every single day. Sunshine Streams with the super sticker. Big thank you to you, my friend. $10 donation. We're very appreciative. Phil said XRP to the moon with 5, 6, 7 exclamation points. Keep them coming, my friend. Now, I want to give a shout out to Angus Scrim. I don't know if he's out there. He usually comments the whiskey. So I want to give a shout out to him. He crossed my mind. And TDE 1593, $10 donation with the super sticker. Very appreciative. And thank you so much, my friends. Now, guys, we got 32,000 people here. We're going to raffle off this hat. We just passed 700 likes on the YouTube channel. If you guys are enjoying this content, be sure to smash that like button as we're about to do this hat giveaway live before your very eyes. So, Johnny, I think it's time we close it out. We get the final. It was Odell Beckham, so that's good to know. Odell Beckham accepted his NFL contract in Bitcoin. A lot of people are going to follow that, Johnny. Now, here's another one. Who wants to be the trendsetter and do it for XRP? That's my question, guys.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make let's have who's the quarterback? I slipped in my name, guys. This is how little I watch sports nowadays. I'm all crypto all the time. You guys see it. I'm on here half my life. So, Johnny Krypto, we're going to close out the results for today's poll, and we are going to spin this wheel live on air, letting our listeners know who's the lucky winner for tonight. So, Johnny, I think it's going to take you a couple minutes to do that, correct?
Yeah, it's going to take me a couple minutes. So take me off the screen here while I'm working on getting the wheel set up with all the people who registered now from the survey
cycle.
And then when I'm ready, I'll give you the thumbs up and we'll spin the wheel, baby.
Absolutely, guys. And we got some big things coming on the Good Evening Crypto channel. What we'll do is I'll play a little Fox Business clip to kill some time as well. This is Johnny. I just realized I'm still sharing your screen.
Yeah, don't do that.
Don't share that. Now, Johnny Krypto's been hacked before. Never again, my friend. But we're going to break this video down. This is Fox Business saying Ethereum is the Wall Street digital asset. Here it is.
Ether has suddenly reared its head and hit new records.
It's very much what I call the Wall Street token. And what I mean by that is if you think that because of stable coins now, every bank, and they are, and every financial services company has to have a way of taking in stable coins. If I want to send you stable coins, your bank has to figure it out, or you will find some other institution to do that. So the winner is who's going to be building on these blockchains. It's going to be some Ethereum or something that uses Ethereum's kind of methodology, which is called EVM. And so that's why ETH is because the Wall Street CTO is going to turn around saying, what the hell is this stuff? When am I going to build on? And it's going to be Ethereum.
Ether has suddenly reared its head and hit new records.
So it's very much what I call the Wall Street token. And
I agree with this basic premise that stable coins are going to drive more liquidity onto networks like Ethereum, networks like the XRP ledger. Where I disagree is that Ethereum is going to have the largest advantage here. Ethereum's peak was actually back during the 2021 bull market, Johnny, where it had complete market dominance inside the United States. It had free reign to do whatever in this economy. It also dominated Ethereum's, dominated the stablecoin market, and it dominated the smart contract market. That's all changing before our very eyes. And here's another update talking about when these XRP ETFs are turned on, that's when Wall Street will really be turned on to XRP.
So for sure. I just showed Canary Capital announcing their XRP Solana ADA. This was like their American-made crypto thing. We had Stephen on last week. Great conversation. But Stephen made a very big statement. And his statement was he believed that XRP, their ETF, would be the biggest ETF yet in all of crypto. Dom, I'll start with you. Do you agree with that in terms of inflows? This is just in reference to inflows.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely would agree with that. I think, even if you just look at the XRP holder base, it's so big. And, I think XRP volumes are, some of the highest on Coinbase. And, the trading volumes are really the highest on many of the different exchanges, or amongst, at least the top three after Bitcoin. And I think even just after Bitcoin, actually, in the most recent Coinbase report. But, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP, those are the, definitely the most liquid ones and most traded names. And I think, people who don't hold crypto and who don't sort of have access.
There you have it, Johnny Crypto. What are they going to do? They're going to look at the cheapest technologies. Now, we got another donation here. I'd taken my paycheck in XRP. Where do I sign? Exactly. That's from Phil. Big thank you for the donation. I think a lot of people feel that same way. I feel the same way. I would love to be paid in cryptocurrencies if possible. People have been asking to donate cryptocurrency, and which I find interesting because we talk about holding a lot of these assets. Johnny, how are we looking on the raffle?
I need a few more minutes, Abs, and somebody did ask, interesting, what is Merlin? So maybe you can explain that while I continue to pull together the raffle.
You know me, my friend. You send me a Venmo, I start talking about Merlin. That's how this deal works here on GEC. And of course, I'm joking, guys. Merlin is the smartest way to track your crypto. And we talk about it every day. If you don't know what Merlin is, it's a really simple way to set yourself up for success so that you know when to leave these digital assets. A lot of people are excited about buying. Nobody has plans to get out. This market is going to be overvalued. If you think XRP is going to go from $3 to $12 in the next couple of months, it makes sense to take a little bit of profit during that time. That's what we talk about using the Merlin application. And I've created a very simple example here, and I've used this time and time again on the Good Evening and Good Morning Crypto channel. Johnny's throwing plugs in here. My guy, we got to get this raffle going, and I think we're getting pretty close here because it is 10:47 on the East Coast. Shout out to the late night crew. Pretty cool that a lot of people are up at night. People think it's easier. So I want to ask you guys, is it easier to tune into crypto content at night or during the morning show? Because I want to know what's most relevant for our listeners. Do you guys like the morning content or do you guys like the late night content more? One's in the chat for late night, two's in the chat for morning. Nova Crypto commented, it's 11:47 up there in Canada. Shout out to you, a late night warrior. Sorry, was that sharing that? We'll share this screen instead. Here we go, guys. Johnny Crypto, how are we looking?
2 more minutes, Abs. I am just about ready to share the screen with you. I want to make sure I've got the audio working, so just give me a second.
Perfect,
I'm
guys.
sharing this, and I think we will be very, very close. I want to make sure we got the sound. Okay, I'm including sound, and I'm going to share it. All right. Here we go, my friends. The wheel is up and ready, Abs. I've got everybody in here who donated, who if you were in Canada or it came through with a Canadian donation, I had to remove you because we're only doing US based, but we do thank you for your donations. But guys, we will get this rolling. I will spin it up. Now, remember the rules are you need to subscribe to the channel and you need to be live present. So as soon as I spin the wheel and we see the winner, I will call you. You need to pick up and answer the phone and say hello live on the air, or you can reach out to us through the chat if you're there too. And then we'll get it going. Now, the interesting thing is if I pick your name and your name comes from when you donated, I'm not going to have your contact information. So, Abs, we're going to have to figure out how they can contact us. I guess we can have them DM me. You can DM me through my Twitter. So that's what we'll do. You DM me your phone number, we'll call you. And with that said, Abs, I am going to spin the wheel and let me know if you can hear the audio.
All righty, guys. And the wheel has been spun. The wheel of fortune is in full effect. A lot of names on this list. I mean, guys, shout out to you for participating in this. The fact that this many people are excited about this giveaway, this is why we're going to continue to give away things. But Johnny, the wheel is slowing. I'm going to slow down my speech as well. Feel free to read the name because I can't read it on my end.
It'll pop up large, round and round she goes. Where she stops, let's see, Abs. Nobody knows. Oh, it just went from Michael to Dennis 123. So Dennis 123, that is that's a donator. So your donation paid off. You now won. Now we need to figure out how to contact Dennis 123. So Dennis, if you are here, first thing is reply in the chat here and let us know if you are here. He must be because he made a donation. Dennis, are you here? Let's see if Dennis is in our chat, Abs.
Massive congratulations to Dennis. Dennis 123 in the house. I believe he is still here. If he's not still here, we're going to have to kind of give him a couple of minutes. Now, remember, Johnny, we had to do this 5 times in a row one time. So for people who think they lost, Dennis 123, please send a message in chat, and we're going to send you your brand new signed Merlin hat by Coach JB, Johnny Crypto, and myself. Pretty exciting. JB Jupiter is trolling. Poncho said he's here. Dennis Is he in chat, Johnny Crypto? It's so difficult sometimes.
Yeah, I'm looking to
Is it
see.
7 Dennis? Is that who it is?
Yeah,
Is
that's 7 Dennis 1 2.
Oh, awesome, guys. Let's go. This is
Oh, there he is. He's
shout out
here.
early in the episode. Okay, awesome. 7 Dennis, congratulations. You won. Johnny, why don't we show the hat? You won the brand new Merlin, signed by Coach JV, signed by Johnny Crypto and myself hat. Hopefully, you're going to do whatever you'd like with it. Put it in your office, wear it at the gym, whatever you decide to do. Pretty cool. We're going to be sending this directly to you. Now, 7 Dennis, because you did a live donation, do me a favor, direct message either myself, Johnny Crypto, or both of us in a group chat on X. Let's just do Johnny Crypto. He's going to be faster to respond. Johnny, you're going to get a DM. We're going to give that away. 36,000 people here. Huge congratulations to 7 Dennis. Johnny, we're going to send this to him. Any remarks on your end?
I'm going to say, Dennis, right now, I'm going to, Abs, I'm going to put my Twitter here in the chat. And Dennis, if you can, just go ahead and click on that. Follow me. I'll follow you back. And then send me a DM with your phone number. So I will give you a call. And I'll need your mailing address. And we will ship out the hat to you. And, you know, it's pretty cool, Abs. I don't know if you saw. Remember, Crypto Nova won the last hat. And it was pretty cool. He actually boxed it in. He had a special case made. Did you see that, Abs? He had a special case made. Let me see if I can find it. He actually tweeted it to me. And he put the hat, it's like in a protective case. It's really cool. And you know what? I think I actually have it here in my DM. So give me a second. I want to share this with you. This is real. Oh, let me see. I think it's right here. Let's see where it is. Oh, there it is. Abs, hold on. I'm going to share my screen. All right, Abs, put my screen up. There it is. So there was the hat that our very first hat that we raffled off, and Crypto Nova won it, and he had a special case made waiting for it. And there it is. He sent me a photo the other day saying, Johnny, I don't want to wear it. I just put it in this protective case. So that is really, really cool. It is right there. But Dennis, if you can, go ahead and DM me, and we'll get the ball rolling here to get this hat out to you.
Absolutely, guys. And it is getting late. It's 11 p.m. I'm battling a little bit of a fever this week. So we're going to wrap up today's episode. I want to give a massive thank you to anybody who showed up, donated. We got the live donation from Dennis. So big shout out to our winner, 7 Dennis. And I'm actually really excited that Dennis got it because he deserves it. He's been here for a long time. I always see his donations, always see his comments, both on Good Morning and Good Evening Crypto. So pretty cool. Now, in regards to that cased hat, what the heck happened to my Sharpie? My name got totally bled through. It looks like we got to send Nova a better hat. Honestly, Nova, you heard it here first. Depending on the shipping costs up to Canada, we're going to get you a new hat. Hopefully not smeared in the way that one was before. That was pretty weird looking. But I want to give a huge thank you, guys. Johnny Crypto, any closing remarks for today?
Yeah, I have no idea, Abs, either what happened to that hat and that Sharpie. But you know what? It's original. It's one of a kind. And I think, you know, if Crypto Nova wants a new one, we'll get him one. But other than that, that is a special hat. You know, Abs likes, you know, you can see there, it's got like a little, what do you call it? Glow around his name. So that's actually a special signature. I'm not sure we'll see that. You know what, Abs? I don't see that happening on this one. So this marker took a lot better. So that's why they are unique. These are, guys, these are one-off hats. You can't get these anywhere, right? These are just one and done. But anyway, I certainly love the fact that we've got a massive audience here. Thank you guys for supporting the channel, for supporting Abs, and watching us all these years. We love and appreciate you guys too. And we just love doing this for you. And it's so great that here we are as a community. Oh, shout out to my man, Michael, as well. Love you, Michael, and the family. But, you know, Abs, this is exciting times, man. We are sitting, for me, it's like 1996 all over again. And I know some of you, like, I know you were in diapers back then or in 97, so you don't remember. But I'm so excited that you're going to actually get to go through this journey, Abs, and we're going to get to go through it together. And we've built, you know, this channel that you've built here is fantastic. I'm so happy to be able to work with you together on it and be here as much as I can to support you. But this is awesome, Abs. You are at 18.7 thousand subscribers in less than like 5 months. Guys, this is awesome. It's amazing how powerful this community is and the love and support you show for the show. And Abs, you deserve it. You're a workhorse, shows up every single day. This man has a fever of 101 degrees right now. I know you guys don't know it. He had 101 fever degree yesterday, puking all over the place, but yet here he is. Come on, don't be modest. All right, maybe you were puking 2 days ago. My point is, you always show up and you come up no matter how you're sick are. You're consistent. You're always here, and it shows and pays off. Now our next step, guys, is to help Abs get to 25,000 subscribers. And I know there's a lot of you that watch the show and you don't subscribe. I know because we can see the analytics. So just you got to do, just go and smash that subscribe button. See it right there? It's right there in the center of the screen. I know you all can do it. Smash that subscribe button right there for Abs and subscribe to this channel so that you don't miss the alerts, because Abs is always putting out content every single day. And Chris Palmer, I cannot agree with you more. This is the best damn channel in the world. And I want to give a shout out. I've said a lot, but to our man Dave in the Wild, I love that guy. Dave, I miss you. I hope I'm going to see you at Revive. And guys, if you haven't come to Revive, you really should try. You really should get out there. It's a 3-day retreat where you get to spend time with us together in the woods, off the grids. Abs, you know what it's like. I mean, how cool is it to just be away from the world and to spend time with people you love and to play some volleyball and to go in an ice bath and do some breathing exercises? It's truly a life-changing event, right?
Completely agree, guys. And I need to give a huge thank you to Johnny Krypto for his time tonight. We got 37,000 live listeners. We hope you guys enjoyed the channel. If you're watching on X, head on over to the Good Evening Crypto channel on YouTube. Become a subscriber. You're going to get an update every single day. This person commented, can y'all give my family a shout out? The J family. Shout out to the J family, guys. We're out here. We are a program for the people. And I want to give a special shout out to Michelle Wolf. Big thank you to you in chat. Guys, I think the reality is it's so exciting. We're so lucky that we get to go through this journey together. The best part about being a crypto investor, and I said this to Paul Barron as well, it does provide a sense of hope. You're not stuck in a job and a salary where you know what your future is. If XRP hits $100, that's life-changing. If it goes to $50, it's life-changing. If it goes to $1,000, we're living in a completely different paradigm. I think a lot of people are going to go through that growth, and we're going to do it all together here starting in 2025. So a massive thank you, guys. If you enjoyed this content, be sure to smash that like button. We love you. We're appreciative of you. I got Good Morning Crypto starting in about 12 hours from now. So if you want to see me again in 12 hours, you know where to find me, guys. And we'll see you all in the next one.